Good morning. Good morning. What's up? Let's get started here. I got to make sure we're good to go on X, and we will get started. One second, we will get started, y'all. All right, everybody who goes to X and shares the link for being live, I'll put it in the chat. Everybody listening on Discord, everybody that comments and shares this link, I will enter you for a free 50K prop account giveaway. Go share it, blow that up, please, please. Thank you. All right, let's get started. It's been a little while. I was on vacation last week, so it's been about a week and a half since I have done the stream on YouTube, X, all the places. So let's get into it. One thing I do want to kind of talk about first, if we go on the daily on NQ, we are starting to slip into no man's land. We have lost a lot of the key support levels, and in the last 2 to 3 days, being below this level right about here is pretty damning as far as structure. However, couple things that with this. We have FOMC tomorrow. All right. Which is going to make the price action shit. Smart money stays on the sideline. Degens keep trading. We'll have news catalysts. We'll have Trump tweets. We'll have all the damn things. But the smart money sits on the sideline. The people that actually have money sit on the sideline. They don't really trade it. Of course, we'll trade it. Those type of things. Don't get me wrong. Smart money sits on the sideline. We have mega cap earnings on top of it. Anyone that knows me and has been around the Discord with me for the last couple of years knows I say I have 4 weeks out of the year I despise trading. That is the 4 weeks that we have the combination of FOMC and mega cap earnings. It is the worst 4 weeks for trading. Contracts are more expensive. The price action is more random and chaotic than technical. So just be aware of that. If you're a newer trader, those type of things, size down this week. It's not the end of the world. Don't play catch up. If you had a rough week last week, this is not the week to play catch up. All those type of things are so damn critically important right now, guys. Please, please take that into consideration in general. All right. So a couple things before we go into actual day trades. So as you can see here, on the daily, the loss of is 27,840. We have like a 600 point gap down from there to the next major structural level. So I'm talking about this area here, from here to here. And we're probably better off putting it on Qs because NQ doesn't show gaps. So I'm going to go over this for a couple minutes first. And then, of course, we'll go over our futures charts. All right, here we go. I've already charted this a few times over the last several weeks, so we already know what's here. It's already charted. Put on that volume profile. And as you can see, we have filled a lot of these gaps. Yesterday, we filled this gap right here. I don't know how that got moved, but it did. I'm talking about this gap right there. All right, let me lock that so it doesn't get moved again. That gap was just filled. All right, let me extend this. Let me unlock it and extend it to where we are now so we actually see. There we go. So that's important today. We want to reclaim that level. Let me pop. We also want the midpoint on these gaps. There we go. We want the midpoint on this gap as well, even though we've already filled it. I am curious to see. So the last 2 days, we have filled 2 gaps that, if you're in part of the Discord, we have talked about these many, many times, how important these were and how key levels these were, what kind of key levels these were. And just yesterday, the day before, we almost filled it, and yesterday we did. Market close yesterday was literally sitting on top of this gap right here. We have filled all 3 of these gaps to the downside. There is more further down. We have a gap here. I don't know why these all moved on me. Must be something calibration of the prices. But anyway, so that's what we're looking at here. Those did get filled. So in general, that's pretty major because we knew these were kind of hanging out there. We talked about them way back here is when we first talked about them because we bounced right off that gap previously. So it's just a really important basis to know that the gap from May 4th, Monday, May 4th was filled yesterday perfectly. And that's right where we bounced at. And we closed yesterday right at the bottom of the gap from May 5th to May 6th. So just keep that in mind for the trading today. Those are incredibly important structural levels. If you don't have them on your chart, put them on your chart. If you're in the Discord, please put them on your chart. They matter. So why doesn't NQ have gaps? Simple, because NQ is 24 hours. So there is no gaps. Anyway, so let's get back to it here. And figure out some levels for today. So as we know, those levels that we did bounce off of, and as we know, if we lose yesterday's lows, we do have a liquidity grab down through 27,150. Those are more swing type things. Obviously, we're waiting to see what happens with FOMC and mega cap earnings, i.e. I don't open new swings at all this week. Sorry for my swing traders in the Discord. If you've been around me for a while, you know we're better off not trading this week, swing trading, that it's lottos. It's lottos. You know, you could be pissed you didn't take the great setup because we gap up 3%, but we don't know. We can weigh it one way or another, but over the last year, we have heavily seen good FOMC and dovish news create downtrend. We have seen bad FOMC and hawkish news create uptrend. So there is no for sure in it. So for me, my smart money is I'm on the sideline this week. As far as swing trading goes specifically, I will likely trade FOMC tomorrow afternoon. I will not be trading tomorrow morning. Well, I'll be trading, but I won't be in live stream voice. It is Wednesday, and we will trade FOMC in the afternoon as per. All right. So as of today, what are we looking at today? So a couple things I had already kind of charted out here is this midpoint of this range. And what I mean by that is it's like a dog on a leash. It always comes back. It always comes back to this midpoint. It keeps returning right to this line all the way through. So it's a pretty substantial line. And that's kind of right where we're at. So the break of that, and we can loosely draw parameters on the top and the bottom, kind of like right here. And I don't want to draw them. I don't want them to be like major structures, but we could loosely draw them as kind of how far we can go once we cross this midpoint line that's acting like that leash right now. So a break of that is kind of where I'm dialed into with targets into this range here. I mean, that's really what I'm looking at. We don't have any great fibs I want to use. There's a little bit too much chop for me to want to lean heavily into any fibs. We had a nice sell-off yesterday. Now, because it is NQ and we use a 24-hour, chart, if I do draw fibs on the full range of the week, i.e. these highs to overnight lows, we can loosely look at that. And which does align pretty well with where I would want to take my trade anyway this morning, which is around that 28070. So that is kind of where we're keyed into for our bullish trades. And anyone that's been around these streams, even if you've only been here the last several sessions, we kind of do want to see a confirmation break with a retest. I don't want to see kind of the rip right through. And if we do take the rip right through the first 5 to 10 minutes, we want to set brackets on that. What that means is if we've got our target areas up through here and we want to take that 28074, if you're in a couple micros or a mini or two and, have an automatic 20 to 25 point stop bracket set in case we do hit kind of this level and get that instant smash down. We don't want to get caught heavily, because our targets are up to 100 points, 150 points with trims at 50 points, a 20 to 25 point bracket instantly set as a stop on that gives us a solid minimum 1 to 2 on trims and up to 1 to 4, 1 to 5 risk reward on our actual target levels. And as far as the target levels, I'm really looking at on NQ for bounces in particular. Obviously up to that 0.5 and up to this level right here is a key for me. I always make them these neon green for targets, and the targets are always dotted lines. The entries are always solid lines. So this is kind of my key 150 point target. And then really within it, there's just a couple areas I would consider meaningful. We do have this fair value gap on the hourly from yesterday's selling. So let's plot that. And then that gives us kind of 3 targets built in. It gives us the bottom of the gap, the midpoint of the gap, the top of that gap. All right. So let's label this. Okay. Why didn't my there we go. So that's kind of what we're looking at. We're looking at that 28074 built-in brackets. If you're taking like that kind of instant pop entry over a safer, entry on that. And then we would play that down. We would play that up through this hourly fair value gap, which isn't actually a gap anymore because we did sell off through it. But this is still an area that was a strong liquidity zone. So it's just more for giving us targets. I mean, technically we have a little micro. So this was a bullish fair value gap. So just to make this a green color. It's not a live fair value gap anymore. We pushed through it. We know that. So as far as the downside goes, we've got this little very, very small gap sitting right in here as well. So, I mean, you can kind of play that too, and on the hourly as well. So we'll make that a red one because it's a bearish fair value gap. So we've got this micro gap on top of it, obviously. And I don't even want to put on the 15 minute and start charting all those fair value gaps. I don't give a shit about them. I'm sorry, it's not a big enough time frame for me when we're kind of looking at levels for the trades. All right. The only reason I care even about this this one on the hourly is because it is on hourly and it was a liquidity zone that we moved more than like the fair value gap. It was a very strong liquidity zone that we moved very quickly through down and back up. And then it obeyed here. So we're back testing. It's inverse fair value gap loosely, but we're back testing this area here. So we're going to wait and see. We'll keep them up here and it'll just be like key levels we're watching for trims more than anything. Anyway, let's get to the downside here. Downside, we don't have much. We have much to do about nothing. Once we lose that 27,846 low from yesterday, or 27,839, I should say, I mean, we really get into a heavy liquidity zone. But as far as bearish entries for the trades here, I would probably, I mean, obviously yesterday's low a day during trading hours. not overnight, is a key level. So we'll watch that. And the second key level we would look for is this 0.25 rejection, which is our green line, a rejection there of the 0.25 of the weekly range. So Monday's pre-market highs through these pre-market lows this morning. So our weekly range, a rejection of the 0.25 of that, and then an entry right around 28,000 flat, the loss of our 28,000 flat. So that is our, if we pop and then drop, that's our entry for that. Or on the kind of breakdown, it would be the loss of yesterday's low a day. So we've got kind of two levels there. I hate my charts being cluttered, but I'm going to keep all this up because it is important to kind of how we want to play this. So we're watching kind of a couple things here. And then on pullbacks, if we were to drop, so this could be kind of a neutral line. We can almost make this this a yellow line because we get the opposite. If we're to pull back and bounce off of yesterday's low a day, all right, so if we're to bounce into this area here and do the opposite, then I would take the bullish entry at the break of the 29,800 flat. So this can really go both ways. It could be a pullback into this with a bounce confirmation or the pullback into the sell confirmation. So we're really going to kind of watch both ways with that, but that 29,800 flat is a key level. So that's really what I'm looking at on NQ. There is no meaningful price action right now. We were in this chop zone right at our 28,000. When I flip it onto a 1 minute chart, let me get rid of the volume profile. Don't really need that. We know what we're looking at. I know the chart looks a little bit cluttered, but overall, you guys do know exactly what we're looking at for this. Let me pull up, get my comments on here. All right. Here we go. You are the biggest degen trader I know. I don't know about that. I think I've got a pretty good risk profile. I'm a degen trader as far as like I'm just a fucking degenerate that likes to swear, loves to trade, definitely gets those surges of impulsivity. So in that aspect, sure, I'm a big degen trader. I'll take it. I'll own the title, guys. So let's pull up some other charts and look what we want to look at on the option side. Unfortunately, all our contracts today are inflated with FOMC IV on them because they don't expire till tomorrow. So they are FOMC baked in contracts. That is going to make them a little bit more expensive. Nothing crazy. But it's definitely something we're going to watch overall. And all right, sorry, I was reading that thing about we have hit peak. Yeah, we're about that 10%. We love that. Historically, 10% is where we would bounce as well. So we'll see. So I hope, does everybody understand in the Discord too? Do you guys understand kind of the loose game plan of our key levels on MQ, which would also make, I mean, really, you can take this chart and place it right on top of your Qs chart, and it's the same exact thing. You know, I mean, just essentially it's the same exact thing. Pull back to yesterday's low a day with a bounce. We would take that entry with a confirmation there, draw the 0.25 on the range of include pre-market on this. I'm doing the weekly range or not, just use yesterday's range as well if you'd like. It's up to you. Let's flip this to 4 charts. As always, we will have NQ up in this top corner because we do trade options too in this Discord. And for all you listening, if you guys are futures traders and you struggle and you are not net profitable on futures, I'll tell you what, options are a beautiful thing and you make way more money on them. Just saying. All right. Let's pull some shit up. What do we want to look at today? Obviously NVIDIA, obviously Palantir had a massive day yesterday. So we're going to pull that bad boy up. Oop. Can't type. So let's pop on our Palantir, our NVIDIA. Yes. And then let's pop up our Apple first. And then if one of them looks like shit, we'll switch one out. Let's just see for now. Okay. 5-minute Palantir. Now, Palantir are Friday contracts. So, you know, it's kind of like one of those. They're going to have a little bit of a influx of premium due to FOMC, but you also have a little bit safer of an overall with it because you've got extra days on that. So we've been in this pattern, this holding pattern for a while here, and it's been getting very choppy. It's really been kind of coiling. And now anyone that understands wick-off accumulation, we can see we had both. I mean both on this one. We have had both the wick-off accumulation springboard and the wick-off distribution springboard. We've had both without a true launch either way. So we're kind of in a holding pattern. Wait and see what happens, guys. I mean, that's just the reality of it. As far as day trading today, let's put on the 5-minute chart. Let's look at the chaos we have going on here. Let me pull down my drawing bar to the middle of my thing. Okay. So, I mean, just in general, just very loose drawing on this shit. We are still creating higher lows. We'll see if that if that holds to be the case here. And then, I mean, there's just a lot of these charts don't have anything good to draw where we have like that solid plan before the market even opens. But then once the market opens, it gets a lot better. We have a lot of that overall. So we'll wait and see. A lot of wait and see on a lot of this shit. NVIDIA did breach 200 yesterday. We're down at 196. We did gap and we're trying to push up here. And again, I just want to reiterate something, guys. We're supposed to look like shit right now. It's supposed to look choppy. It's supposed to look the way it does. We have a stack of mega cap earnings. We are sitting at about a 10% total sell-off. So the algos are chirping in both directions to get ready for expansion. We're going to get some consolidation. We had heavy selling. We're going to get some consolidation into an expansion, whether it's a reversal expansion or it's a continuation expansion. We got to wait and see. The unfortunate part on that, this is usually when most swing traders are licking their lips ready to buy into something. We're sitting right on FOMC and mega cap earnings. So people are hands off. They're going to be hands off. They're going to be hands off. It's not investment period, guys. It is stick and move trading. So in general, that it is what it is. And we're going to take it as it comes, and we will get good trades. We're not worried about that. Y'all know that. We do the same thing around here all the time. So Apple, double top, higher lows. We want this to turn into a triple top, higher lows with a continuation break. That is one of the highest probability bull patterns there is, but we don't have confirmation. Remember, patterns aren't high probability until they break. I see so many people like, oh, we've got a head and shoulders setting up, so they take some sort of short. It's not a fucking head and shoulders high probability pattern till the neckline breaks and retests. You gotta wait for the break first. So even though this holding pattern could represent a really, really bullish play out, it's not bullish till it starts to happen. Till we start to get some of our confirmation within it. So we've got to wait and see how this plays out. But I'm looking kind of at this pre-market high with the retest, or we'll see what this back test plays out into. And then let's just draw a couple key levels. We've got, here's a key level. And then here's a key level. And we got to wait and see. A lot of these are wait and see setups, guys. But we have really banked with wait and see setups. overall. So we're not too concerned about that. So NVIDIA, though, we are at a key level. We're sitting right at yesterday's low a day. We gapped down and we have kind of popped all of pre-market. So we'll see what it can do here. Overall. This trend line, I don't give a shit about that. That's not real. So we're kind of looking at what it does at yesterday's low a day into our pre-market high at around 196.50. Give me in the chat, guys, is there anything that looks fucking good? Is there anything I'm not seeing? We've got 5 minutes. I have plenty of time. Is there anything I'm not seeing that actually looks decent for trades today? Give it to me, baby. All the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. Sorry, I'm a dork. We listened to so much like 90s music traveling home yesterday. Cringe AF. Microsoft? Okay. We'll pull up some Microsoft. What do I want to flip out for Microsoft here? Probably Palantir. Like if you're trying to chart this, okay, thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Okay, this is something we could work with. We are going to open above yesterday's high day or right around it. And I like when we have two levels. I like when, okay, we've got the key yesterday's highs, and then we've also got our pre-market highs. We kind of got both. We like that. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Anyone else got anything else? So we'll see how it plays out at these two levels here. Worst case scenario, I don't want us pulling back deeper into yesterday's closing print and pre-market low. So for me, this chart, I'm not looking short. What I'm looking at on this chart here, I'm going to put this neutral, is we either get the gap and go, where we kind of bounce around here. We get a little pullback. We bounce around at yesterday's high a day and pre-market high. That's entry one. Or we pull back into this box and we consolidate in the box between 390, 391, and then we break back above it. So those are kind of my two entries. Not interested in the shorts here because it is a bullish outlier at the moment. Okay. So that's the two playouts we're looking at on Microsoft. Costco looked good. We feel a move has already happened. Costco, I don't really day trade as much either, but I'll tell you what, Costco is definitely one. If we start to get some heavy bearish selling overall, Costco's definitely going to be in my wheelhouse for some possible swings. We do have Amazon 1% up as well. Let me just flip on this one real quick and see if it is more worthy than NVIDIA. Because you guys know I'm an uptrend trader. I prefer to play uptrend. Okay, nice. We have a nice range on Amazon. That we can watch kind of play out here. And if we could break this, it could get interesting. Okay. Tell me in the comments, NVIDIA or Amazon? NVIDIA or Amazon? Which one do I keep on my charts here? Because I'm keeping Microsoft up because we're already pulling back into the box, which is what we want to see. And we're definitely keeping Apple up. Amazon. Okay, it's Amazon. All right, guys. Remember, NVIDIA, if we bounce off, if we hold yesterday's low a day and start bouncing, things get interesting there. All right. So we got our charts for the morning. I'm pulling up Microsoft contracts with Apple right there too. All right. Let's get ready to rumble. And again, NQ, we know what we're looking at here. We're down towards that low end of the range where we watch for that bounce. Oops, that I talked about. And then an entry at the 29,800. So we're down in that area here. All right, ring a ding, 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 ding. Let's get ready to rumble. Again, I've got Microsoft up, and I'm ready to pull up either Apple or Amazon as I see need fit. All right, we're open. Yeah, contracts are inflated. All right. Yeah, Apple instant BDE candle. I mean, if you were already bought and queued the second the market open and just kind of market bought that, great for you. But for me, we're gonna wait for this first candle and find our midpoint on it. And then as far as Microsoft goes, I'm taking partial fills today. Just want to reiterate, taking smaller-esque fills on these. We want to make sure that we don't over allocate here. We do have a little bit of a spread going on. Let's wait and see. Okay, so the midpoint Apple we have lost. I want the reclaim of 341.40 for trigger point. Midpoint our break candle. It's kind of like playing a micro orbs of sorts, guys. And as far as NQ goes, we have not confirmed, but we have technically hit our short. But we're waiting. I'm waiting. We're right at that area here where this is where we would want to bounce. And we'll wait and see. I would be surprised to have heavy selling again today, but you never know, especially if it was FOMC. I'm about to start saying it like Jeremy, FOMC, especially when it's FOMC week. FOMC. Love you, Jer. I don't even know if he's listening. You guys could all blow up Jeremy and tell him I'm talking shit. FOMC, I'm going to say it all day. FOMC. It's FOMC week. All right. Oh, hi, Microsoft. Very, very small. And you guys, we got to limit buy and sell these. The spread was a little wonk. It's getting better. Very, very expensive contracts today. Please be careful. Please be careful, guys. So we are starting to dip a little bit. Amazon, we have just cleared liquidity of yesterday's low a day. Let's see if this pops back up for a retest and a possible short. The technical, I didn't, of course, take it, but the technical shorts confirmation of our 27,941 did dip about 70 points. I did not take it, but it did hit our technical confirmation for that entry. I did not take that trade, and I did not suggest taking a trade at that moment. I did mention when it was the trigger point, though. All right. I got the definitely watching this Apple bounce here. And Microsoft. Man, Microsoft's a little pricey today, y'all. Definitely feeling that FOMC, a little bit of inflation on these contracts. I mean, honestly, earnings, all the sexy stuff we love. But the earnings are after hours tomorrow. Oh, it's Friday contracts. Scratch that. Yep. We're not trading Microsoft. The contracts are juiced and jacked and fucked. I'm passing. Microsoft's going to get removed from my watch list. So Apple right here. It looks good as well. A Microsoft I would have bought last candle. I'm not. Sorry, guys. The trade is a technical entry. If you want to play it, I will talk through it. That was our entry point, but I'm not buying it because you have to buy Friday contracts and earnings are tomorrow. I'm passing. If you don't want to pass, I will talk you through the trade. The trade is breaking out right now. Last candle was the entry I passed on, and I'm okay with that. I'm doing partial positions. Apple right here. Good setup for a break. The 345s have pretty good volume and are cheapies. 340, 250s, also 340s, all three okay. I wouldn't go further out of money than that. And yeah, I know Microsoft's going to rip here. But just for shits and giggles, let's see. Because midway up 2 candles ago is literally when I almost clicked the buy button and I called it out for all you guys. Let's just be very real about where we would have been on price from there. About 20%. I'm okay passing on that. I mean, I literally called the trade out, but I did not buy because it's Friday contracts. And you guys know my trading plan. I do not buy contracts. I need that are built-in earnings as far as the cost on them. Partial Apple position is it for me. What about Amazon? I got to check as well with Amazon. Okay, we're good. Those expire tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, and earnings are until Thursday. So Amazon is good. We're good with Amazon. Microsoft is the one that we're not interested in the contracts. And it is unfortunate because Microsoft is doing exactly what we wanted to see here. Those 420s are 20% right here. Only 20%. 520 to 620 from the price I would have bought them at. 20. You got 20% in 4 God candles right here. 25%. I mean, it is what it is. There's 90 points on the short NQ. I would slide down to 27,900 flat as far as a stop level here. That did hit about 90 points. We did hit about 10 points from our actual target of yesterday's low a day, 27,839. Still on the sidelines, watching Apple for calls and Amazon for calls. Haven't taken a single trade yet. Trying to play it slow here. I did call out the NQ the second we have hit our target. And there is target, and we are approaching 100 points here. Boom, there we go. Slide down to like 870. Slide your stop down to about 870 on that right there. There's 120 points on the NQ short. Again, I trade options the first hour and then futures after that, guys. So I did not purchase the options trade. It's what we went over pre-market and live as it hit our level. I said there is our short entry to take. So I'm not claiming that I am personally up 120 points on NQ. I'm not doing any of that. Very, very clear with that. But we did hit entry and target. And I suggest sliding to 870. Stops to 870. Microsoft would have worked for 20%, Wolf. On a $600 call. I mean, if you want to play that shoulda, woulda, coulda game, go for it. It was only 3 candles too. Can't play with that kind of FOMO. Come on. I mean, you can, but if you bought right here at the bottom of this candle, they were $520 and they sit $620 at the peak of that candle. So like 4 times the cost for 20%. Cannot play like that. I know, but like you just gotta, you can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. Roth W sold them. Got time on the Apple call from yesterday. Nice, Saucy. Awesome. All right, there's about 140 points on the NQ short. Damn, I should just trade a futures this morning because the contract or the options ain't doing fuck all. But I mean, it was perfect. Exactly what we were looking for here. Even with this wick up, we had talked about playing both ways of this 29,800, as in if we bounce off this line, hit the rejection, you can take the short of the long there. And then the breach of our 27,940, taking that entry. And I mean, it didn't look back. Beautiful. It played out really how we expected. As you can see on this first candle, you can see we hit our rejection right right where we expected to as well. And I think a very solid trading plan is just as important as the trade. You guys don't give a shit how many dollars I made. You care about how many dollars you make. And if you care about how many dollars I made instead, take a look at that, because you should care about how many dollars you made. So we are testing here pre-market overnight low right here. We are back testing it. So let's watch that. And let's also put a little micro fibs on open hours trading. So market open candle for our NQ people here, or our QQQ. That's also the 0.25. All right, so Amazon tried to pop above yesterday's low a day, and it kind of had a little bit of rejection. Now it's popping again. We'll see how that plays out. I want to reiterate what we said at the beginning of this stream. Expect chop today. I know you weren't going to buy it, Wolf. I'm just reminding you to fight like that shoulda, woulda, coulda FOMO, because I know that's what you struggle with, is the, oh, I could have taken that. Look, it did work out. Like that type of thing. It's not in a hater type way. It's just, it's literally in, don't let yourself think like that, like a miss out. Oh, it could have worked out. Those type of things. Don't let your brain slip into that, because that's where we start making those decisions that just, we don't want to get caught in. That's all I meant by that, Wolf. All right, so double candle rejection on the NQ 0.25 bounce from during regular hours, high to low. Apple's just kind of bouncing, and there goes the Amazon flush off that back test of yesterday's low of day. I did not take Amazon puts there, but that's exactly what we kind of talked about. I'm not going to chase an Amazon puts there either. But that is that instant kind of flush we talk about a lot in the Discord for all you traders out there. It's probably 25-30% little dump off there. We're going to wait and see. I want to wait and see what happens over the next several minutes here. Perfect 0.25 rejection right at pre-market low for a second chance entry on NQ shorts. And I mean, that alone was 80 points already in 2 candles. There's 180 points on the original NQ short. And it's just going to keep dumping. So now we just collect money. I'm loading up Apple calls. I will let you know if I fill. Oh, that's just so damn sexy. There's 100 points plus just from a combination of myself and KT's perfect our absolute moneymaker 0.25 rejection mixed with pre-market lows. That right there was absolutely freaking disgusting. Just on that, you're at 120 points. We are at 210 points from original short that I called out here. I did not call the 0.25 rejection for our Discord traders. I'm sure a lot of them took it because they've got their trading plans that trade right there checks a whole lot of boxes. All right, so we slid our fibs down and we'll get ready to go. Maybe we'll take a trade in the next couple minutes here. Still haven't taken anything, guys. That was a beautiful rejection, though. It's very quiet in the chat, so I'm guessing some of you are in active trades, even if I am not. But that was 2 perfect trades. Our original entry, 29,941, and then a perfect pre-market low rejection right at the original. I already moved it, but let's go back to where it was, right at the 0.25. Double top wicks, just, begging for it. Begging for it. we get a little bit of bullish pressure, Apple will rip. Again, just these kind of like we're getting this little couple candle dumps and then nothing. Let me remove Microsoft because it has earnings, so I'm not playing it anyway. And let's pull up NVIDIA. Very choppy. Okay, NVIDIA is kind of yucky. All right, we're going to keep going. $240 points NQ to make that 270 points NQ short. Apple's holding up very well. That's why that's kind of what we're watching for calls, because we're not getting great put action on what I would play puts on. All right, that is just what a dump. What a sexy beast. We'll just keep sliding it down till we get a meaningful actual bounce here, guys. $270 points. 270 points on our NQ short. I almost feel bad I don't trade futures the first 30 minutes. I might have to switch that, huh, guys? Nice, Wolf. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Keep dumping. Because you know what I see with these kind of dumps? Oh, my God, we get the best long entries. I will say, heavy dumping into FOMC tomorrow, I expect to pop with FOMC. I'm just being real here. I'm just being real. Even if you took the 0.25, you're at almost 200 points, 180 points just at the 0.25 rejection. And now if you're listening, you're like, well, you didn't buy. Like, it doesn't matter if I bought, guys. I'm never going to be, everybody listening, I'm never going to be one of those traders that you're not sure if I bought or not. You're not sure. No, I'm going to tell you exactly what the fuck I'm doing. And, you know, do I wish I bought? Sure. But I don't trade futures the first 30 minutes. Then maybe that'll change. Maybe I should start doing that, especially on these type of weeks. Maybe it's a lesson learned from me. Maybe I need to loosen up my own personal rules a little bit. So we're going to watch this 29,741 as a key level. Because I have a little bit of FOMO right now. I got to be brutally honest with y'all. It's tough watching that. But congrats for everybody that took it. Beautiful trade. Let's see if we get a meaningful bounce or not. Again, we're watching Apple. I'm watching NVIDIA. And I'm watching Amazon. And they're both just like the little slow selling. Where I just kind of got to wait and see. All right, so will we get the pop the 0.25 to the upside, or are we going to get the downside? All right, testing the 0.25 here. That's an entry. See if it gets the candle close and confirmation for a buy. Or are we going to come down and continue to dump? What you gonna do? All right, there's that is nice pop. So our next target is on the 0.5, going to go up to 27,824 is our 0.5. Wow, beautiful. Insta trim here, or slide up your slide up your brackets on that. Because I want to see it push all the way to the 0.5. We don't want that instant rejection. But you definitely want to slide that bracket to break even at the 0.25, even if you weren't quick enough to get a trim off. At least got to slide the bracket. Yeah, instant rejection back down. That's too bad. That is too bad. I mean, technically, we didn't even get a confirmation. That all happened in one candle. That's insanity. Okay, so we're starting to get some volatility. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to wait on this. I'm not trusting it. I'm going to flip over to these Apple calls instead. I'm not interested in the futures there. See what it does at this 0.25. Take a partial position on Apple. Again, I'm not taking full positions today. I'm taking partials because we do have FOMC, and I usually take partial positions on Tuesdays and Fridays. Personally, the 345 calls and the 342.5 calls both have good volume. Nice pop there. That was very, very fast, 25%. I kind of hate when that happens because it usually follows with a pullback candle, at least to the midpoint of our break candle. So anyone that's just a few seconds later than me have to instantly decide what to do at like almost immediately being at almost a break-even level. Not ideal, and I know that. NQ is getting a little wicky right at this 0.25. I believe that we're going to pop back up at least to 27,864. We will see. And then Apple, lower day stop losses. And if you didn't chase that buy candle, let's wait for that 339 break for a second chance entry at the midpoint of our impulse candle. Because we definitely didn't want to see that type of pop in one candle. Want a little better, smoother entries. Especially getting into 30 minutes into trading here. Wait and see. All right. Start chopping up. Looks like we're going to, I expect some chop here. We'll see though. Especially on NQ, kind of hovering here while it makes a decision. But not good price action overall. Generally to be expected. Again, we talked about it quite a few times this morning. That's what we expect as far as the price action here. Back green on the other part of my Apple position. which I'm tempted to kind of just cut it here. I don't know if we're going to chop or not, but I'm not going to suffocate it. I'll let it play out. Oh, that's too bad. Come on. What you doing here? It's me that kind of day. I expected, though. That's why I'm playing partial position. I only bought 10 contracts total on Apple. Took profits about 25% on half, and other half loss. So it is what it is. Sorry, guys. Didn't work out. It's okay. Back to drawing board. Pretty much break even overall. Half I took profits about 25%. Other half I could have got out about break even. Got out about 57 cents. 75-cent entry. Break even overall on the trade. Can it pop right back up? It sure the fuck can, but I'm not going to hold it to wait and find out. I'm going to move on because I don't like the price action. I'm still doing the same chop. Back at a little double bottom and Q. Just not ideal. I mean, we had a hell of an initial short. You know, we played that one literally 280 points. Rejection of the 0.25 / pre-market low was another 180 point trade. First trade I actually took, barely got out with my ass on Apple because it decided it wanted to make 30% worth of a move in 1 minute instead of giving us a little bit of time to get to play through an actual trade here. But I do think Apple is still going to be the play. Could be wrong. We'll see. Real bad price action everywhere. I mean, NVIDIA's in a 2-point range. We can't prep for another NQ short until we breach that low. If we go back to a longer time frame, the first thing I said this morning was this loss of the 27,800 or 27,850. That 27,157 can come very quickly. Liquidity dump. I mean, we've already moved about 20% down on that. So we'll see. That's the very, very first thing we talked about this morning. Do I think that can pre-FOMC, if we dump down to that level, the longs I'll be taking will be large tomorrow. Just saying. But we'll wait and see. I need Apple back above like 338.40 before I'll dip my toes in the pond again. I already barely got out green once, and this is just really, really trash-tastic price action. So we've cleared liquidity, low a day NQ. Let's see what we do from here. All right, this might be a rip candle right here. Bold prediction, we're going to be at 27,750 in the next two candles. Yep, there's that liquidity draw to the upside. $27,780. I think we come tinker in that area. $27,780. If we don't, then our price action is really, really trash-tastic. We should rep up into that area. No, I'm not in a long, nothing like that. I'm just talking about pure price action and what I'm expecting with the market movement we're getting. Much for 27,780. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Yeah, like NQ. It's true. It's true. And that's what makes you money, not my words, but your action behind my words. So to lose 800, you must have been in a pretty big position. Sorry that happened to you. I think this thing, yeah, this is about to rip. 27,780. Again, that's my target. I'm not in. By the way, I'm not in, guys. I'm on the fence 100%. I'm not in shit, but I expect NQ at 27,780 here. All right. 5 micros is so damn much for the morning. And you took like really the worst. I don't trade at all the 0.25 to the 0.5. I talk about that being my least favorite range. I don't know. I feel like you're kind of like not listening to what I'm saying. I said it could do this, that. I'm not taking these trades. It's been choppy. These wicks are volatile. Like I really don't know what to tell you. Because I feel like you're like not kind of listening to what we're talking about, what I'm saying. All right, 27,780. Come on, 30 more points. And that would give you 100 points on this long that I did not take. But I did say I liked here. And at this point right here, I would literally slide your range up to like 740. I'm getting very close to target here. And 27,780. Come on. Don't make a liar out of me over 6 points. Wolf would be like, Wolf's going to be right now. He'd be like, I had my target set at 27,780. I took a 100-point loss. Sorry, because it didn't hit 27,780. It hit 27,797.75. We were 25 cents away. So Wolf set his target and it took a red trade, guys. You know, that's what's going to happen right here. I'm fucking with you, Wolf. I'm sorry. You're my punching bag today. You guys know what I mean? Well, she said 27,780, guys. It only hit 27,779.75, everybody. Made a liar. I couldn't take my profits. Oh, there's target. Boom. Let's go, baby. Move your stops up to like 750 here. 30 point. Let it breathe about 30 points because that's about 100 points here from entry. And it made us work for that shit too. No, it was pretty nice. Pretty nice trade. Easy money, baby. Yep. That's why you take your profits, you set your brackets, and you chill. Apple falling wedge. Now let's give away an account. How about we give away an account here? What do you guys think? Let's give away an account. Sorry, I'm looking at who either liked or reposted the post on X. Pretty sure I already gave this guy an account before. All right. I have no idea if this is someone from the Discord or not, but they constantly, I'm pretty sure it is. It's a different name. Flow Rider. Hit me up in DMs. Appreciate the repost. You guys rock. What is... All right. Let's get back to these charts. I'm watching Apple. I'm waiting. Crappy. I mean, great NQ trades. I mean, do I have to start trading NQ on the days I expect chop? Maybe. Maybe 200. They literally just played at the Porter County Fair last night by my house. Flo Rida and the baby played at the fair. What a fall off for the baby playing fairs. I thought he was like the biggest rapper. Just last night, after all the rain and storms, destruction, heartbreaking, such a pain. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. IQ and Amazon, they're just doing the same thing as freaking NQ. NVIDIA and Amazon just doing this little scoop bottom. We'll see if it holds or not. Again, but what you know what comes after FOMC? Well, you know what comes after FOMC? FOMC. You know what comes after that? Really great price action. So just 2 days from now, whoo, I can't wait. As soon as we get through them damn Apple earnings Thursday. Jeremy, I'm stealing your phrase. FOMC. It's a FOMC. He's in here now, so I could say it. Even if he can't unmute, he's listening. So. All right, we're going to create a new low here and set up for a short. And we're going to get a dump here. We got to clear out the lows first. We've not had a liquidity clear yet. What do you mean by clear to the low to the high back up? And just watching the price action. That's what I go through in all the videos. Once we clear liquidity, which just happened right here. The next time we touch this, sometimes it doesn't even come back, but the next time we touch the liquidity clear out point, it's the move after that. So, I mean, this time it's not coming back, so I wouldn't take this trade because I don't take it right at the breach. I needed to come back and touch that point a second time, and then the move off of that, whether it's upside volatility spike or downside volatility spike. So like right there, I'm not taking it yet because we have not back to it. Could be the same candle. Once we you have to watch it in real time when you're playing liquidity clearouts, because once we breach that low, we have not touched it again yet. Now we're touching it again. Now we see how this candle plays out right here. All right. So as of right now, if this can't, for me, what I'm watching in real time, if we break the body of this candle, the upside, I like the long. If we break the candle, the body downside, I like the short. So I'm looking for essentially the break of that, or, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong chart. I'm looking at a different screen. I'm looking for the break of this candle body. So we just broke that candle body right there. That's when I'm taking my short. But I'm looking for right here so we just cleared it on this candle. I'm essentially looking for the breach of the candle low body and the candle high body right there. After that liquidity clear out. And because we had, sorry, I'm locked on my drawing feature. I don't want that. And like I said, I like the short because we breached the candle body to the low side first on our breach candle, which was the liquidity clearing candle. So a few seconds ago when I said in this candle, when I said to the low, because we had broke that candle, the body of the candle to the low. And then on NQ, something like NQ, I'm generally looking for 40 points or so on that dump. So I want a little more than that. It's not worth it at like 25 points there. I'm looking for about 40 points. Or I don't consider it a true liquidity draw. So my target level is about 631, like 590. Right in here. And then at the same time, we are sitting in the bottom half of our impulse candle here. So that's what we're looking for. But I also want to reiterate, we have sold heavy today, so it's hard to look for a lot of like explosive downside when we've had explosive downside for freaking 400 points already today. So in general, that's how I personally play liquidity draws. I might not play that. I might not have played this one personally, simply because we've already played downside trigger moves 4, 5, 6 times today, creating lower lows. So at that point, I feel like there's less juice in the move. But really, for the question you asked, it's the body I use as a loose guide, and it's by feel too. I'm using the body of the candle that breached that low. So I'm using kind of this candle body here. And then the second it pushes below it or above it. And I mean, for now, everything's still sitting below our initial liquidity breach. So technically, the trade is still active, or would be, but I want to see it within, you guys know this, I want to see it within 2 to 3 minutes max, in general, on these when we clear these lows. Like on this one. So this previous one is a good example. So when we breach this liquidity with this candle here, and then, well, our candle body's tiny, minute, but it's just this little candle body right here on the next candle, because we dip below. And then after that, the next candle opened above the candle body of this candle. So that's where you instantly take it, because we cleared it out. Next candle opened above the body of that candle. And that's when I take the entry in that trade and play it up. Let's find another one here where it actually built a zone. No, this was all straight down. I mean, yeah, this one, you could see it there. But in general, but now we're starting, I mean, really, we're just starting to chop here. which isn't ideal. It's already taking too long. Technically, you're still in green right here, and we're below that liquidity low, but it's really just kind of chopping in this break even to 25-point range for quite a while, which is not ideal because the whole meaning behind these liquidity draws is the volume. You know, so it taking this long isn't ideal, but I'm looking for about 40 points or so. So my technical target is around 29,590. And with a 20-point target, you'd give probably 20-point, you'd probably give like a 20-point stop as well. So, you know, the entry being would be right here. Nope. That's a short, not a long. Let me get the short. So with the entry being right about here, if it's a 40-point, you'd have, well, that would hit our stop there. But in general, we would have a 40-point long. Oh, I went a little further than I thought. This would actually have been our target right about there. So we came close to that 40 points, but in general, I probably wouldn't be even taking this trade because we had already had cleared this liquidity with that. And with like liquidity clear out trades, I generally don't consider, and this is going to sound confusing as fuck, I don't consider a liquidity clear out the next liquidity clear out, meaning this cleared this low. So I don't consider this like a new base, a new liquidity draw, because we don't have the high volume. We don't have the volume shelf there. It's like almost like every other one, because this low breach was off of this. Okay. We didn't have a volume buildup again here because it was just clearing out this volume. Okay. So by the time we're hitting it here, this isn't a new volume shelf built up. This was the clear out of this one. So it's almost like here, I don't really count that overall. Like in real-time trading, I'm not as excited about that because this initial liquidity was, this initial wick was in response to this. Does that make sense? And that's why instead of getting like essentially the reason we're getting chop here instead of another impulsive move is because we didn't get a volatility surge based off this volume shelf. There's no volume shelf here because this was a clear of this volume shelf. Does that make sense? Like it can't be a liquidity, quote unquote, zone if there's no liquidity. So like that third tap of something like this, it doesn't count in the same way because I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense what I'm saying. But you know, like that's why like the rule of threes, a triple bottom, triple top, like, you know, it kind of loses its force overall. But anyway, so in general, oops, everything's coming back. In general, no, this to me isn't even a liquidity zone to play because this new low a day here was simply a wick down from the original low. So everything got cleared out. All the volume got cleared out. There's nothing built back up there. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm done talking and you're not responding. So anyway. Let's see if we start to get any sort of a curl up here. Good NQ, short trading, but for the most part, the rest was absolutely whack, and we expected it. I said, we're going to be choppy today. It's my least favorite trading day of the week. And chop all over the place. We had our NQ sell, and then really the last hour has been chop even on NQ. Yes, we've made lower lows. Yes, there's been good liquidity, but overall, we're sitting in fucking chop. Not great. We had a 360 point NQ short off the bat. If you played any part of that, you should be done trading anyway. So anyway, I'm going to end the stream on the social media platforms so we could just hang out on voice. So yeah, on YouTube, X, etc. I'm going to end this stream. We had fantastic NQ trading. Our short played out exactly how we expected it to play out. And then we also got the perfect right here, as you could see, the perfect short off of the back test of this pre-market low here. Right here. We talked about that as well. So we had some really great trades as far as that goes. We had a break even up to 20% if you were really quick Apple long / 20% Apple short. Oh, thanks, Taryn. I'm horrible. Okay. I dare you come back Friday and say that. I dare you. If you're not Green Friday, I'll give you a free prop account, Taryn7632. I dare you. You want to talk about how horrible I am in Chop? Cool. I appreciate it. You have no clue what the fuck you're talking about. I will trade toes with you any day of the week, little boy. Anyway, see you Friday. Hope to see you there. You think I'm going to shrug away from a comment on a day that's been all chop and we had a 380 point short? Okay. I mean, if you're trading right now and you're taking active trades, you don't know what the fuck you're doing because you're trading chop. So, but anyway, I feel free to DM me. Emma Gemma on X. I'll give you free 30 days in Discord. Free, not one penny. And tell me in 30 days I'm horrible, baby. All right. Anyway, I'm ending the stream on X and YouTube. And just like I expected, no follow-up comment there. We know that, right? We love the trolls. No follow-up comment. Just a LOL, she is horrible. Trading a prop for $100? Okay. Anyway, everybody on X, YouTube, thank you. And Friday, come back. Again, go back, rewatch the stream. I said it was going to be shitty price action today. We had the perfect short. I had a shitty-ass Apple trade, and the charts fucking suck. So I turned it into a little bit of teaching, a little bit of questions about liquidity draws. And Taryn, I'll see you Friday. Come get that free 30 days in Discord. Let's trade together. Show me what you got. All right, bye, guys.